that the transformation of the economy of this country has to be undertaken through SMEs. The question of Honorable Mule, that there are various funds, UEFA Fund, Women Fund, Youth Fund, Hustler Fund. Fortunately, Honorable Mule, these funds have been put under one ministry now, under SMEs, except for Youth Fund, which was there briefly, and it was taken to the Ministry of Youth, and I think that was a mistake. These funds were meant for different purposes, but they were also established to address various concerns at that time. That time, our good women were making noise that they need a fund. So whoever was in power at that time responded by creating a women fund. The same for youth. And the UEFA Fund is the very basic one. In fact, UEFA Fund can easily be amalgamated with the Hustler Fund. But the only difference is that the UEFA Fund is at the constituency level. So now, if you started now amalgamating it to the Hustler Fund, which is sort of on a digital platform at the national level, then it becomes a problem. But for easy management and proper focus, I will agree with you that these funds be brought together. And let us have departments within those units. And those departments are given a budget. This is 200 million, make sure that they go to the women. This is a particular, this is 1 billion, let it go to the youth. This is a particular, this amount is for people living with disabilities, let it go to that. That will also reduce the cost of running these funds. So we have one board, one management. That is the best way. But sometimes to do this is a political decision to be made. And that is maybe a decision that you can leave it to the president to make. Because when the youth fund was put under SMEs, quickly, I think the Minister of Youth complained, and then because of the political play that time, it was moved out of it. The question raised by Robert, MP for Katiani, the issue of debt write-off in the cooperative. As I've told you, cooperatives are self-financing. They are umbrella cooperatives that government puts in money. Few cooperatives like dairy. Dairy is a very important sector in the economy, where the government puts in money to make sure farmers get to be paid. It's like also the sugar industry. They want to make sure that farmers are paid because sugar is consumed a lot. Milk is consumed a lot in this country. So the government must have interventions. And that's why the government is ready to write off debts because of that, that particular special priority of that particular commodity to the people of Kenya. But I've said clearly that how long will this go on with the austeric measures that are there? Shall we keep on the government writing off debts? What I'm saying here that, and what I am committing myself, is that we must confront this problem and say, why do we have problems in cooperatives? And the major reason we have problems in cooperatives is actually management, nothing else. So if you can sort out management issues, then this problem will not be there. This issue of EACC, it is unfortunate that such institutions are used. It's unfortunate, and I remember the president committing himself that such an institution will never be used. He might not be the one, but it might be people around him. He might not know. But it is unfortunate because in the process they lose focus. The elephant is in the house. They are going for a squirrel. That is very unfortunate. The issue of performance contract. I'm happy that, Mr. Chairman, I started performance contracting when I was Minister for Planning, and it worked very well. It was one of the Vision 2030 tech that we have performance contracting. And we wanted this performance contracting to all government institutions, to central government ministries, to parastatal, to agencies, to sagas, so that what you do can be measured. There are targets. Are you able to meet targets? People now sit in the office. Institutions are making losses, but they still continue to be in office. I'm hopeful that as I come to the office, if you approve it, I'll talk to my colleague Mbadi, who has now taken over the Minister of National Treasury.
He has not.
Who will?
He has not taken over any office.
If you have approved it, if you approve it, if you approve with somebody to take over the National Treasury and economic planning, because that is where this performance contracting is supposed to be housed, then this is one of the issues that I will take it up, because that was very good. It motivated people to work very hard. When it was being announced at KCC there, some ministers will hide their face because they know their ministries have not done well. So people worked hard. So it is important because we get salaries from the public. So we should be accountable to the public, Mr. Chairman.
The last court, George Murugara, Sir George, Daoud, and Mary.
Thank you very much.
One
Mr.
question
Speaker.
each.
One question, then the public one I'll ask, I will not ask again. That will be the end of it. Let me ask my own questions to the nominee, because this issue of EACC is a little bit sensitive, but it's also important that we get the corrective facts, especially as regards the allegations. Number one, EACC every day starts saying that they sent your file to DPP for prosecution. But you've informed this committee that you did not record a statement, which means you were actually not heard. In your position, would have EACC recommended a prosecution before hearing you? That is very important. Number two, you went to court. You got a conservatory order. The question we ask is the conservatory order still in force? And if it is, are the proceedings which you took to court still live, or they have been terminated? And if they've been terminated or they've come to an end, what has been the end result? Now, this other one on behalf of Kenyans. It's a fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you see it, but your side of the political divide told Kenyans, go and take the hustler fund and do not pay. They went, borrowed the money, they have not paid up to a tune of 12 million. Now the shoe is on the other foot. This money needs to be recovered through the revolving system. You are in charge. Will you now turn around and tell the same people that they have to repay the money because the money must be repaid?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Oparanya. You have talked a lot about the cooperative societies, so I won't take you back, but you have said it is a management issue. I want to put it to you, it's not a management issue. The issue is, if you do get appointed, it's the Commissioner of Cooperatives, together with his officers on the ground, who abate corruption, because my people have lost 2 buildings in Meru because of no elections are done for the cooperative societies. But it's a problem within the cooperative officials. You have talked about Uwezo Fund and all that. There was a bill, I think about 4 or 5 years back in Parliament regarding Uwezo, all the funds. It was called Biashara Fund. Maybe you may need to follow it up, how far it went, because I think there was a cabinet paper to move all the funds into one fund, Biashara Fund. By the way, Uwezo Fund in my constituency is doing